masonry and insulation. We're still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
On ESPN Plus. Sign up now at ESPNplus.com or get the Disney Bundle, including Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus to stream the best movies, shows, and sports.
Tennessee Volunteers in what has a SEC tournament atmosphere.
SEC basketball. Missouri visits Knoxville and the Volunteers Saturday on SEC Network.
Showtime! Showtime! Back to Brown. Open three. Yes!
Look at the defense. Look at the defense. It'll go the other way. It'll be Tennessee ball.
Missouri versus 6th-ranked Tennessee at 6 p.m. Eastern. Saturday on SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Another busy day on the horizon here. We've got multiple games going on tonight on multiple streams. I know this for a fact because I'm the one that has set it up. The UH Chargers getting ready to take on West Georgia. The women's game is in 30 minutes' time. Scott Tyson will have the play-by-play call there. That is on Zone 2. 7A Area 7 tips it up beginning at 6 o'clock tonight over at the gymnasium at Huntsville High School as Huntsville takes on Albertville. That's on Zone 3. Austin Coletti will have the play-by-play call. And over our airwaves will be Alabama and Florida squaring off. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Later on here in hour number 1, Brian Passing is going to join us from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Joining us in hour number 2 will be the incomparable, the one and only Jerry Glanville to usher in Super Bowl 57 week as only he can bring it. But coming up in 15 minutes' time, Sonny Smith, the former Auburn coach, is going to join us as Auburn fell on the road to Texas A&M. Boy, a lot of free throws for the Aggies. How are you, Wes?
Doing good. Good to be here.
Let's start things off light, shall we? A joke. I don't know if you heard this one. See, if you really wanted to terrify me, public speaking, I'm okay with. If you said, hey, here's 5 minutes at a stand-up routine, no way. No dice. And I would probably be funny by not trying to be funny. But I just, that terrifies me. How comedians do that, I mean, on them. But I don't know if you've heard this one, Wes. Did you hear the one about Roger Goodell and referees?
I would disagree with several of the points you're making in there. So, yes, we listen to all the voices. Let's just start with that point. But we like to go to the facts, ultimately. So just to take your point, are we losing people from the field to the booth? There are some that never even officiated on the NFL field. And so we didn't lose anyone. May have lost them from our office, but we didn't lose them from officiating on the field. Others are taking on that responsibility at the end of their careers. So I do not think that's a factor at all, zero. I think for us, when you look at officiating, I don't think it's ever been better in the league. There are over 42,000 plays in a season. multiple infractions could occur on any play. Take that out and extrapolate that. That's hundreds, if not millions, of potential fouls. And our officials do an extraordinary job of getting those. Are there mistakes in the context of that? Yes. They are not perfect, and officiating never will. But we've also had, obviously, replay and other aspects that help us address those issues to make sure they're not something that we can't correct on the field. Communications between our office, that is not the case. In the championship game, that was stopped appropriately because the clock was running by an official on the field. That happens frequently in our game. That's not an unusual thing to have that happen. So again, we want to go back and look at the facts. We may not disagree, we may not agree with every TV announcer or every officiating expert, but we think our officials are doing a great job. But we're always going to look through our competition committee and everything else we have, how we improve our officiating. But it will never be perfect. In addition, I think we all have to realize through the quality of what we see on our broadcasts, you've never been able to see the kinds of things that you can see today. And you see it in super slow-mo. You see it where you can actually stop it. Sometimes that distorts a call potentially, but the reality is our officials are held to an incredibly high standard, and I think they meet it. Will we try to get better? You betcha.
I don't know what he's watching.
Yeah.
So, they're only wrong.
Let's give another play.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's over here making.
He's watching the money and he doesn't care.
Well, yeah.
It's a fair point.
Well, I expected him to go out and defend him.
Yeah.
But not with that. Whatever he just said. That sounded like. Well, I'm not going.
It was missing something.
There's been 2 bad speeches this week. Let's just put it that way.
This is what it was missing.
Well, I mean, it's just everybody thinks he's good, a good commissioner because he has been the revenue's grown in sports.
Never been better.
Yeah,
he uttered the sentence. It's never been better.
It's like you say it enough, maybe somebody will believe it. Yeah, to me that's it's crazy. Yeah, so they're talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking up at ESPN, and then
sure enough,
just said
Roger
Goodell defends NFL officiating. Says it's never been better.
Never been better.
I would totally disagree.
Never been better.
I mean, as everybody in the sports world says, what's interference? We don't know what interference is. What's what's a legal tackle? Who knows? And you got to. I mean, it's gotten crazy. I mean, you're not allowed to fall on the quarterback? Come on. Those guys are big. I get Mahomes not big, but, some of those guys weigh 250, 260. You cannot love them down. It doesn't work.
No.
Put flags on them if you don't want to.
They did on Sunday.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're going to get to. I don't know. But it's kind of – they're still going to get hurt with flags because people fall down in the game.
Ooh, they could get hit by the flag. Ooh, I didn't think about
that's
that.
happened before too.
That's happened to you.
Yeah, well,
that's happened to you.
I caught a flag in the face mask.
I mean,
it was a good call though.
Did you file a lawsuit right after?
No, but because it didn't take my eye out. Somebody took their eye out, or
you'll shoot your eye out.
No, some guy hit him in the eye in a game. It's really not funny. Hit it in a guy. A guy got penalties thrown on him. Hit him in the eye. And he I don't know if he lost his eyes, but he lost part of his vision. Never played again. That happened in the NFL.
How did I miss that story?
I mean, I just remember when he threw it. I said, "Well, I was within inches of that happened." I mean, literally, love child. I hit a guy intercepted a pass at the end of the game, and he darted out of bounds right at the end. And
was this a Georgia game?
Oh yeah, I got Vince Dooley.
You got Vince Dooley.
Whacked him. Yeah. Well, I didn't hit Vince, but the guy hit Vince. Anyway, I couldn't just stop on a dime. I was going I wanted to cause the fumble, and he just darted out of bounds right at the end. And I kept going. So, and I hit him literally he was in the air 3 or 4 feet, right? And hit Vince Dooley, took him out. So I'm sitting on the sideline and like, uh-oh, I might have to fight my way out of here. I turned immediately and started running, and the flag landed right in my face mask right here. I had to physically take the flag out of my face mask and throw it on the ground. Ran on the side.
You knew what to do with it?
Right. I wasn't going to carry it with me for like a keepsake. We were going to get beat by Georgia. So I run to the sideline. Fuller meets me about 15 yards out of bounds. He was on the numbers when I was running off. He goes, "What did you do?" I said, "I knocked him out of bounds." And, it wasn't funny the next day because you lost the game, but it wasn't because I hit him out of bounds. It's because we threw 6 interceptions. Literally threw 6 interceptions in that game. I had 4 tackles. I don't know if you count that as a tackle, but I did.
I'll count that as a tackle.
It was Mark Sanchez was the guy. That was the player. Number 20. And I apologized to him after the game, but find out later he was cheap-shotting people. I shouldn't apologize to him.
Well, you
whole
still
game. That's not why I did
the better person by
right. Yeah.
apologizing.
Well, of course, I just said I didn't mean to. That's late hit. I didn't mean to hit you.
So I did get some breaking information about Roger Goodell. He was asked about his childhood and admitted something at the end of the answer. By the way, yes, Wes.
Why would you ask him about his childhood?
Because we need to know about Roger Goodell.
Wow. We were 5 boys in 7 years, Donna. And my mom was the biggest influence on my life by far. She reminds me a lot of you. She's had a great sense of humor. She enjoyed having 5 boys most of the time. And I think she was also pretty hard on us. Like she would be the first one to criticize us, but also the first one to support us, ultimately. And, she made every single one of our athletic events, which with 5 boys in 7 years is a lot of athletic events. She encouraged us to participate, to compete, to get better, but not afraid to say you've fallen short. And I'm not going to make any comments about your 2 boys, but I know this one right here needed a lot of support in high school. I was not exactly the best student. And I shouldn't say that to a lot of the younger people here. I really didn't apply myself. And my mom made it clear to me that I hadn't reached my potential yet. So I hope she's a little happier today.
Clearly, admitting he's not smart.
I think he did. He admitted he didn't apply himself. I mean, I could say at times in my life I guilty.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Right.
All been there. It just takes some people longer to mature than others, and clearly Roger Goodell is still working on that. Because after all, this is the best officiating that we've ever had.
That's the best
in the history of the National Football League.
If that's the best, right? I literally turned off 4 games this year. Because they were irrelevant. The players were irrelevant because of the officiating. Why watch a game where the officials are going to actually decide the game? I mean, just bad call and a bad call.
When I hear roughing the passer, I just wince.
The Tom Brady thing on that game against Tampa Bay, and we had several guys bring that up just recently. It was horrible.
There's no
and
doubt.
Heck, I was for Tampa Bay. I like Tampa Bay.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I know you weren't, but I was. What I'm saying is, it wasn't a homer bad. It was a terrible call, and there were at least 30 like that. 30, and there's arbitrary holding penalties. I mean, I don't get it.
I sent that clip to Dave Archer. And he just sent me a sigh emoji saying, "Oh, here we go again."
Well, so the thing that drives me crazy is I watch these linemen push the defensive linemen down, push them literally down, and they call holding on that.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to push him down, but if you grab him and pull his jersey, they don't call anything.
Yeah.
But if he falls down, it's holding. It's just it's stupid.
This is the best it's ever been.
It's best it's ever been.
This is the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
So enjoy the comedy styles of Roger Goodell from the National Football League. Let's take our first time out. Coach Sonny Smith set to join us to talk a little Auburn basketball next.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Rambo Marine in Hazel Green is your one-stop shop for all things boating. Whether you are ready to surf with the newest Malibu wake boat or cruise on a Cobalt or Barletta pontoon, we have a boat ready for you and your family. Rambo Marine provides exceptional service second to none, so that you are ready to hit the water in no time. Stop by Rambo Marine today. We know boats.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Champy's Famous Fried Chicken started in Chattanooga, but the history of the fried chicken, hand-rolled Mississippi Delta tamales, and comfort food sides started decades before. Champy's Famous Fried Chicken is made from an old family recipe from down in the Delta, and everything is fresh and homemade, including all of the sides and desserts. Come visit Champy's Famous Fried Chicken. You'll find it's the best fried chicken and hand-rolled tamales you've ever had. On Madison Boulevard in the old Bison's location in the Publix Plaza with 22 taps in the full-service bar and 2 outdoor patios. See ya at Champy's.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have the state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So you don't have to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is responsible for bringing high-level sports entertainment to the Rocket City. In 2023, enjoy events like the CCSA Beach Volleyball Championships, Hometown Lenders Championship, UCI Paracycling Road World Cup, and so much more. To learn more about upcoming events and the Huntsville Sports Commission, visit huntsvillesports.com. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyandersonford.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here with you on The Drive. It is a big one this weekend down on the Plains. How big is it? I'm glad you asked that. I could hear you shouting at your radios. It is so big this weekend that Jackson Love, our esteemed producer, has to be off on Friday because he is going down to the Auburn-Alabama game. That's how big this is. And nobody better to break it down from the Auburn perspective than Coach Sonny Smith, who's kind enough to join us. Coach, hope you're doing well, sir.
Doing well. Hope you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, where do you want to start this season? You tell me. What's this season been like to follow from your perspective, Coach?
There have been very few falters. They played extremely well. They've done what they thought they would do in most situations. Very rarely do they play under their ability. They play I think outstanding basketball in most instances, and they're getting the most out of their talent. I like that part of it.
Jalen Williams, he is pretty. I don't mind saying that about another man because he looks like an elite level basketball player on the court, Coach.
He is that. I wish he would search for the ball more. I wish he would ask for the ball more. He works to get open, and if they don't throw it to him, it doesn't seem to faze him all that much. He just keeps working. I would like to see him demand the basketball more because I do believe that he's a big-time scorer, especially when he gets in and around the lane.
Getting this team ready down the stretch, what do you think the key is to that for Coach Pearl, Coach?
I think the bench coming through and foul trouble not taking them out of a game. They play awfully hard on defense, and we're getting up close to postseason time, and I think right now the teams have got to adjust to the officials. And if you're going to play the defense as hard as we do, and as successful as Bruce Pearl's teams have been, I think we've got to avoid foul trouble heading down the stretch here, and I think it bit us a little bit in the last game.
Well, with that technical in the first half in particular, it felt like that really swayed momentum a little bit in Texas A&M's favor, Coach.
Yeah, I think that one thing that you don't ever want to have in basketball is officials deciding who wins. You know, one bad call or one call at exactly the wrong time sometimes can hurt you, and it might not be a cheating type call. It might be just a mistake on the part of the official, or it could be, in a lot of cases, it could be the correct call and sometimes missed, you know, that type of thing. But that call had a lot to do with the finish of that basketball game for sure.
As a coach, was there ever a time when you had your game plan, all the hay was in the barn, you take a look at who's coming out to call the game, and you go, oh boy, I'm going to need to do this and this.
Early in my career, when I first got into the SEC, yes, that was true. There was a time that you didn't want certain officials in certain schools. That all went. I thought C.M. Newton taking over the official situation in the SEC many years ago, organized the officials in a race where he had at a rate that he had the best officials calling in the SEC. He would take guys that were going into other leagues and get them to come to this one to call. He got the best coming in, and I thought the consistency in officials turned at that point. And I think over the years, it's been extremely reliable and consistent. But I think every once in a while, you're going to have a call that is going to be analyzed by both sides differently, and it's going to affect the outcome of the game. And that was certainly one of them. There's both sides to that type of call, but I think from our standpoint, when I say ours, I'm talking about Auburn. I thought that was a missed call.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you, Coach, as we're talking to Coach Sonny Smith right now in the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, and I would just maybe implore the officials to call the rules. I have yet to. You tell me, Coach, of the games I've called this year, I have yet to see 3 seconds. I've seen traveling called a little bit, but not as much as I see out on the court as well. It's and the physicality, it is starting to resemble that team that wears helmets and pads and knee pads, and it's starting to look a little more like football.
Well, I think you're right that the game is becoming more physical, and I think the officials are trying to let them play. And then all of a sudden it comes up in a call that it's going to affect the game, and he's still living with that same type of feeling, let him play, and he makes a call, and it really decides who's going to win the game, or it really affects who's going to win the game. And it's talked about a lot, but we'll say this. Overall, the officials have been really consistent from a standpoint, letting them play, try to keep them from fighting, don't make bad calls at critical times, but you just cannot be perfect all the time, and certainly that was a call that affected the game. And I think if the official that made the call looked back on it right now, he'd say, I probably missed that call.
So,
but
Coach,
I don't think anything else other than that.
So, Coach, kind of change the subject a little bit. When you watch Auburn, how does Auburn get to they look like they're on the cusp. They're a good team. Look at on the cusp of being a very good team. How do they get to that? It's just like they're like inches away from being, inches away from beating Tennessee, call or not call. Inches of played Texas A&M. They seem like they're having a little bit of trouble on the road, and of course Texas A&M beat him at home, snapping the streak. And that's the only game I think they've really played bad. Or Texas A&M played good and they played bad combination. But you watch Auburn, you just think that they're very close to being really good.
They really are.
What do they have to
all
do?
Year, and I'll say it again: when Auburn shoots, they're really a good basketball team. When they're not shooting the basketball, they become vulnerable because they play so hard. And they get after situations, and they attack the rim offensively and defensively. And when we're not going your way, or when a bad call comes up, you say, "Well, we didn't do it the right way." But I think all year they have done things exactly the right way. And now the one of the things that you can't control is foul trouble, and you can't control injuries. You can't control those things. But all in all, Auburn has done things pretty much in a way to win games. But the one thing that has never been really consistent on every night out is shooting. If they shoot the ball, I said this on talking to a lot of people. If Auburn shoots the ball, they win.
Is that
if they
shot?
don't, they're in a fight for their life.
Is that shot selection or
just percentage?
Well, it could be. It could be you're forced into taking a bad shot because of great defense. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes Auburn gets caught in situations with the clock running down that they will take a bad shot. But that is in no way designed to go that way. It just happened because if your guards control the basketball more than the rest of your players, they're going to be put in situations where they got the ball in their hand with the clock running out. And a lot of that's going to make the guy look really bad. But you go back to having the ball in your hand more than anybody else and winning games, and you kind of overlook those things that he did for you to win that game. So we had a situation there where it was a bad play, but he had made great plays other than that one. So it's really, it's danged if you do, danged if you don't type of thing.
Well, Saturday, that other team from the state is heading in to Neville Arena. Well, what have you seen out of Alabama, Coach? And what's your early...
They're the best team I've seen. Not just in the league. They're the best team that I've seen play. And if their depth comes through for them, the way their starters come through for them, they're a tough out every night. You look around and you say, well, they're a great team, and they do all this, do all that. Well, one thing that you really have a tough time analyzing is, where's their weakness? What do they do bad? And you don't hear any answers. They're a team that is solid as I've seen in a long time. They really are. Even their bench is extremely strong. And I'm looking for a weakness out of that team, and I haven't seen it. So they're the team to beat. And if they're going to get beat, this needs to be on the road, and it needs to be against a rival like this game's going to be. This game will be a game where both teams will do things they've never done before because it means so much to both of them, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those things will be bad, but some of them will be a lot better. Some guys will play better than they've been playing because of the game that it is. And some people will have a drop-off also. This game will be decided on who has the most of each.
Well, so if you were coaching, how would you go about attacking Alabama?
Try to get them in foul trouble the best you can by attacking them defensively, making them play defense. Maybe a little longer in the shot clock, but they're so good on defense, that could be a bad thing right there. But Alabama, when they're shooting the ball, you can't find a weakness. They really, really guard you. They move the ball up and down the floor when they want. They play half-court basketball well when they need to be. And for a guy that has to analyze them, it's very, very difficult to find a weakness. And it's very, very easy to talk good about everything that they do, if that makes any sense. If I've been on a lot of radio shows, somebody wants me to say, what is wrong? Is there anything wrong with this Alabama team? I can't find that. I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, they're deep and they're very talented. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, they are. They go to the bench. It don't make a lot of difference. That guy's going to play good too. And you know what? You know what beats a good team? The road. That's. You ever think about it? You're going to beat them. You got to get them on the road. And if they're having a great game on the road, just sack the bats and go on home. You're going to get beat.
So some of the old school Bama fans have brought up the 76 Alabama basketball team, maybe this team comparable with that team. Is that at all from what do you think,
Since
Coach?
I failed math in the Free States, who was on that Alabama team? Can't name a couple of them, and I think I could answer it.
Mule King, Leon Douglas.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's going to be hard to come up with a team as solid as that.
I
team
agree.
was.
I agree with that.
I just don't think they don't make them like that anymore.
T.R. Dunn.
T.R. Dunn.
T.R. Dunn, yeah, and the little guard had a little guard.
Keith McCord.
But yeah, and you think about this. We've had good basketball. Most of those players came from right out of Alabama, or in Alabama. And, are they players that good here now? Maybe so. So maybe we're not controlling the state and getting this as good, but I think we are. But you don't get any better than that team was. Well, especially for the SEC.
It's fun to talk hoops and relevant hoops in this state because there's two elite programs here in the state, and they're squaring off down at Auburn, and I realize...
And it wasn't so long ago, neither one of us were any good.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago, and now we're relevant.
Yeah.
It's and Coach, I don't think it's any coincidence. And the SEC network starts, all our team games are on TV, and now our teams have gotten better. It's because everybody, they're home, they can come from all over because they can watch them every game they play on TV.
No, there's no question about
Just
that.
like the Big East back in the day, while they were so dominant.
Yeah.
And now Georgetown can't win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ACC went through some of the same type of thing. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, this league is loaded up with good teams. It's not that it's real heavy at the bottom. It's not like it's a top heavy type league.
Yeah.
What it is, it's a real good league, balanced. But then you got Alabama on another level playing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right now, yeah. The trick
Right
is
now, yeah. Somebody's got to knock them off of the stool a little bit, and nobody's done it yet, have they?
Well, we'll
Oklahoma.
Well, no conference.
No
team.
conference team though so far.
Yeah, conference team. Yeah, it's easier. It is. It's easy to get knocked off on the road. When you're playing teams, no matter how good you are, the road makes a difference. I tell you, when you can go on the road and level things out, you're really good anymore.
Coach, always appreciate the time. How's the tennis game treating you?
I tell you what, I got so old they won't even play with me anymore. I thought it's because I was better than everybody else, and I found out I couldn't play dead in the Cowboy show. So I'm one of those that found out late that I can't play.
Shooters
a lot
got to shoot.
of teams have trouble with that, don't they?
Yes, they do. Well, Coach,
yes, they do.
I always appreciate
Thanks
the time.
for having me on, fellas.
Yes, sir. Always
you got
a
my
pleasure.
number. You know I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We'll be listening. As he'll have to put up with Andy Burcham coming up on Saturday. They're at Neville. What's that? What's that, Coach? We didn't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
I said you're going to have to...
I'm like a wimp. I don't say it unless it's helping me.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
That is Coach Sonny Smith joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And I did want to play a little bit from Bruce Pearl after the loss last night. And let's see if I can't cue that up. So they did the Q&A last night in College Station on the court, and Coach was wearing headphones like I'm wearing right now so he could hear the questions because the arena was not empty there in College Station.
He scores 78. On the road in here, against a really good defensive team, it's enough to win. But we just, our second half defense let us down. We fouled them too much. And it didn't matter whether we were playing man or playing zone. We just couldn't find a way to keep them off the foul line. Chennai Broom, got into some foul trouble. And, it affected our post defense a little bit. And, Dylan Caldwell came back after being sick, so he didn't play a ton. Didn't get killed on the boards, didn't turn the ball over. We played well enough to win.
That is the opening comments there from Bruce Pearl. And it's been a tough stretch for Auburn. And now they play host to Alabama coming up on Saturday. It is a game day for the Crimson Tide as they will play host to the Florida Gators coming up. And also have some audio as well from Coach Nate Oates, if I can find it. And that audio, where did I put that audio? What do you think about Saturday's matchup, Wes?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to it. So
are you really?
Yeah, I can't wait to go. Been down there several times, had a blast every time. And
it's a great place to watch.
I haven't been down there for Alabama to win So maybe
Have you not?
No,
That's
they've never
right.
won. I'm the bad luck.
Wow.
I think they won once when I didn't go.
So this is why you get the invites to come on
Oh,
back.
there's no question. That's why. But I don't have any eligibility left, so it's not because of me. It's because Auburn's been better every time we've played them down there that I've been to the game. This is the first. I don't know what's the line.
Well, it has yet to come out because Bama plays tonight. They are a sizable home favorite over the Florida Gators. If I had to guess, what do you think, Lovechild? If I had to guess, I'd say Bama 6-point favorite. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair, given that it's at Auburn. I'll go look and see what it is right now.
Here is a little bit of Nate Oates yesterday previewing the Florida Gators tonight.
It's a big stretch of games coming up for us. Obviously, it starts with a home game. We got 2 tough road games, but Florida's playing their best basketball of the year right now. Big win over Tennessee, and then they play Kentucky down to the wire at Kentucky. So we've got to play better than we did Saturday. We obviously got to do a good job with Castleton. I mean, he's one of the best players in the league. You know, he leads their team in all major statistical categories. He anchors their defense. They got the 10th best defense in the country on KenPom. So our offense is going to get tested. But, you know, I think we've had 2 good days of practice. We're getting good production from our bench. You know, it's going to be a big test for us, though. So it's a big home game for us coming down the wire. We don't have that many more home games left, so hopefully we can get the crowd to come out. Student section hopefully be packed because we don't have too many more left here in Coleman after this one.
That is Nate Oates yesterday talking with the media.
2 tough road games against, in my opinion, 2 of the best teams in the conference.
At Auburn and then at Tennessee next Wednesday. And on the subject of Alabama basketball, Brian Passing from the Crimson Tide Sports Network. He joins us next as we need to take our final timeout. Jerry Glanville joins us at the top of the hour.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Flow Trampoline Park is your one-stop fun spot for your next birthday party. Whether you're a boy, girl, kid, or adult, Flow has you covered. Party packages allow up to 25 plus guests, so you'll be able to bring all of your friends. And with all the fun competition to be had at Flow, maybe enemies too. Party packages will give you access to 60 minutes of jump time, grip socks for all guests, a private party room, and a party coordinator. Flow is behind South Parkway and Drake, behind Cracker Barrel. For more information, go to flowhuntsville.com. Get jumping with Flow.
As we flip that calendar into February, a lot of things happening. You got Valentine's Day, you got the Madness of March, and you've got tax season all around the corner. Thomas from Talent Heating and Air is in studio with us to remind us, Thomas, you don't want to forget about your heating and air system as well.
Yeah, that's right. During tax season is a great time to look at upgrading your system or making a repair maybe you've been putting off. We're going to help you out with that. We're going to do a $1,000 discount if you mention this ad and give you a little bit of an extra rebate this tax season.
And you also want to make sure it is tuned up and ready to go for that spring season.
Yeah, spring in Alabama can be 90-degree days, right? So we want you to be ready for that ahead of time, so you can give us a call, and we're going to do a $49 special for all the listeners of this.
All right, that phone number?
It is 256-503-4490.
It's Talent Heating and Air's $49 tune-up special. Give them a call today.
There's something most of us fail to think about until something goes wrong, and that's our home's heating system. Hello, friends. My name is Rick Smith.
And I'm Cooper Constant here with Environmental Comfort Systems.
Heating and air conditioning failures can be one of the most inconvenient and worrisome events in any homeowner's life.
That's why we created our Comfort Care Club. Our members receive 2 scheduled maintenance visits per year, working around your schedule and not ours.
Regularly scheduled maintenance on your home's heating system helps us find small issues before they become bigger and more expensive issues.
Even if you didn't purchase your system from us, our team of well-trained technicians can service and maintain your system, and we're just a quick phone call away. Becoming a Comfort Care Club member is as simple as calling us or visiting our website.
Give us a call today. Environmental Comfort Systems, your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. You can also visit us online at envcomfort.com.
Is I had a few too many happening too often? Does I'm stopping at 2 drinks become more like 4 or 5? You're not alone. 1 in 7 people struggle with alcohol. Bradford can help. For over 40 years, Bradford's affordable rehab programs have helped people overcome addiction and return to healthy, productive lives. Call 888-SOBER-40 for confidential help 24/7. Start your comeback with Bradford. Call 888-SOBER-40 or visit bradfordhealth.com.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing: helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers are going to be possible through Wednesday afternoon. A mostly cloudy or an overcast sky. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s, making a solid run at 70 degrees. The best chance for rain is going to move in as we head into Wednesday night and then early into Thursday morning, where we're going to be talking about a fair amount of widespread rain. Could even see a couple of embedded thunderstorms. That activity should be out of here by the time we get to the lunch hour on Thursday. A partly sunny sky through Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I wanna thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Is this a remix? Kind of feels that way.
I do not like it.
No? Not a Nirvana guy?
No, I like Nirvana. I like the song. I don't like that it's a remix.
Along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you, walking you up to Alabama basketball as they are back home, taking on the Florida Gators. And to help break it down for us, we just heard the Auburn perspective after Auburn lost last night on the road at Texas A&M. Let's head out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. You'll hear him in an hour and 15 minutes as Brian Pasting is kind enough to join us. BP, how are you, sir?
I am doing great. Just rolled into Coleman Coliseum. So standing here next to the legend Chris Stewart. Got Noah Clowney, Rylan Griffin getting up jumpers as we speak.
Well, quite a season, a magical season, but I guess the biggest fear is you don't want to peak early as tournament season is creeping up on us.
You don't, but you want to win a championship, and regular season championships are a big deal, and games like tonight will go a long way, and hopefully Alabama winning their second SEC regular season title in the last 3 years. But no, you want to be playing your best in February into March, and as my calendar says, it is February, so time to get it going. But this stretch for Alabama will not be easy. These 3 games are critical for Alabama. I mean, this is a tough stretch with Florida tonight, who's playing their best basketball, going to Auburn and then to Tennessee. These 3 games will tell you a lot. And I don't know of a tougher 3-game stretch that Alabama's had. So this is a big game tonight and 2 huge ones to follow.
How much, if anything, and I realize Richard Hendricks was on the call for the Oklahoma game, but no demerits in that regard because I know it was work taking you away from that. But that game in particular, how much was that maybe a wake-up call for what kind of effort this team needs to bring day in and day out?
Well, if you go back to the game after that, it seemed to be a big-time wake-up call.
Yeah.
Alabama took out their frustrations on the Commodores and had a historical night, a 57-point victory, the most ever point differential in an SEC game for this program. So I think they bounced back in a big way. Didn't play quite as well on Saturday against LSU, but shows you where this program is and how good this team is, that you could have a performance that your coaches and players weren't that excited about, still have a double-digit road victory in the SEC. So 10-0 is a great place to be in the league, and hopefully, like a couple years ago, Alabama went on the road and lost to Oklahoma and went on to win the SEC regular season. Would love to do that again here this season.
Is this the best Bama team you have seen while a part of the Crimson Tide Sports Network?
Well, from a talent standpoint and a depth standpoint, it is definitely up there. I think we'll be able to have those discussions after the season or late in the season because to this point, they've been excellent. To this point, they've been one of the best teams that I've ever seen here. But, you know, what you do, as you mentioned, what you do in November, December, and January, it's important because it sets you up and puts you in a spot where you have a chance to win a championship and get a good seed in the NCAA tournament and make a run. But what you do with that position will tell where this team ranks all time. But right now, number 3 in the nation in February, 10-0 in the SEC. You know, they're pretty good.
Yeah, at one point.
Newsflash.
yeah, really. We're breaking news right now about the Alabama basketball team. Yeah, because there are certain points, especially in both LSU games, I hear Chris say this is fun, and because there are so many times you've been on the other end of that spectrum, and it's okay to enjoy kind of the fruits of what the program has turned into.
Well, I am certainly enjoying it. I know Chris is, and there'll be about, 15,000 here tonight that will be enjoying it as well. Anyone affiliated with this program is enjoying where this program is. And I think with what happened last week is as big a news for this program as we've had in a long time, and that's Nate Oates getting extended and locked up and have this ridiculously high buyout, which means he doesn't want to leave, and nobody wants him to leave, and that's a good thing for all parties. So he's a guy that when jobs come open and Texas is open, Tom Izzo's not getting any younger at Michigan State, that the first call is going to be Nate Oates. So for Greg Byrne and the administration to extend him and basically lock him up for several years to come is absolutely huge for where this program is right now.
The next step, I would assume, from a program standpoint, is the new arena. Is there any new news on that front?
There's not, as far as I know. I know that that is something that is a high priority for the people that matter, and that's good. And I know inflation is real, whether it's the three of us going to Publix to buy milk and bread or to buy a new arena. So that is something that is a reality of the times we're in. And so it may delay it a little bit. I think if it wasn't for that, there would be shovels in the ground and we'd be a little closer to it. But first of all, do I want a new arena? Absolutely. And I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of how soon. But will it affect this team and this program having a chance to win championships? No, it will not. But I think it's something that's coming, which this program deserves.
So looking at back at the team, in your opinion, who so far would be your most improved player? Who would be your defensive player and your offensive player of the year?
Well,
and then most improved.
Yeah, it's a guy that's standing about 5 feet from me that I don't think has missed a three since we've been talking, and that's Rylan Griffin. He is someone that came in from Texas as a high-profile shooter that is slowly but surely turned into an all-around player. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He was 4 for 5 from three against LSU, and he is getting better and better. And as far as on the defensive end, Namari Burnett, Charles Bediako, take your pick. Alabama's one of the most improved defensive teams in college basketball from a year ago. So there's a lot of candidates for that. And then offensive player for this team is a guy that is very much in the discussion for National Player of the Year, and that's Brandon Miller, who, oh, by the way, does it on the defensive end as well. I think he and Zach Edey at Purdue, two best players in college basketball right now.
It seems to me that Bediako is getting more comfortable in playing, and his timing's getting better on the offensive end to me.
He is, and offensively, this team has been so good with a high pick and roll, and Charles has been terrific with alley-oops and footwork, and his hands are really improved. He's got better on that end of the floor, but where he does most of his damage is defensively. He's the anchor on this team defensively on the interior, and the matchup tonight between Charles Bediako and Colin Castleton may determine the outcome of the game. Castleton, I think, is one of the 5 best players in the SEC. He has been so good. So interior defense will be a key. I think Charles Bediako, Nick Pringle, Noah Clowney, maybe Noah Gurley, those guys will have to have great games on the defensive end to beat the Gators.
Has Castleton been there since Billy Donovan? It feels like he's been there a long time.
He played for Lon Kruger in '94, so he's been there a while, and he was a transfer.
Yeah,
he's been in college, but nowadays in college basketball with the COVID year or years, I can't figure out how many. I mean, you get like 8 years now, so listen,
do you have some eligibility, BP?
Listen, who wants to leave college? I mean, if you gave me 8 years, I would take it. I mean, there are worse places to be than a college athlete living in Tuscaloosa or Gainesville, Florida, or wherever. So I don't blame them for taking their time.
Do you have any eligibility left? Do you know this?
I do not, and it does not matter due to lack of mobility. I can still knock down a jumper. If they had a horse league or a free throw shooting league, I would sign up immediately.
Nice. Well, give me a key or two for a win tonight for Bama, because Florida's certainly very capable. We found that out when they beat Tennessee at home last weekend.
Yeah, this is a dangerous game because Florida is playing as well as anybody right now, and they do it defensively, one of the best defensive teams in the country. Colin Castleton is so difficult to defend on the interior, and they shoot it well from three. This is not going to be an easy game for the Crimson Tide. If they're ready to play and play at a high level, I think Alabama, I like their chances. But if Alabama struggles and doesn't play high-level basketball, and Nate Oates said if they play like they did in Baton Rouge against LSU, they're losing this game. So they need to come out and play well, because Florida right now is really good, playing with a lot of confidence, and by far playing their best basketball of the year.
Has Chris Stewart implemented the you cannot miss any more game rule, considering what happened in Oklahoma?
Well, it's actually the Mississippi State game I missed.
Oh, was it really? I thought it was the Oklahoma game.
Yeah,
that's my bad.
I would like to blame that one on Richard Hendricks, but he got it done against Mississippi State, and then I came in, and I think they're ready to fire me after that.
No, not by any means. But nonetheless, we'll be listening. Thank you, BP. Appreciate the time, sir.
Always enjoy it. Thanks, guys.
That is Brian Passink from the Crimson Tide Sports Network, as we will join them in a little over an hour right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. As we speak, the area tournament, the first game of the area tournament, 7A Area 7 is over on Zone 3 with Huntsville taking on Albertville, plus the UAH Charger basketball team is over on Zone 2 as they are taking on the Wolves from West Georgia, as Scott Tyson has the play-by-play call of the women, and I'll head over to the gym probably around 7:30-ish for the men, and it's a battle for first place for the men's side. UAH and West Georgia, come on by. Should be a good one. Coming up next, the preview from Coach Glanville.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that, chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at BadDaddy'sBurgerBar.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Steve Lennox. Kyrie Irving set to make his Dallas Mavericks debut tonight. Mavericks on the road in Los Angeles to face the LA Clippers. Luka Doncic will miss Irving's debut. Doncic out for a third straight game with a bruised right heel. Mavericks and Clippers, a nightcap of an NBA doubleheader on ESPN TV. Up first, the Sixers and Celtics. They tip shortly in Boston. Celtics right now percentage points ahead of the Denver Nuggets for the top record in the NBA. Celtics right now leading the East, followed by the Bucks, who have won 8 in a row, and the Sixers, who are currently 3 games behind the Celtics for the top spot. ESPN's Andrew Lopez reporting that Zion Williamson is not going to return for the Pelicans before the All-Star break. Williamson has been out since early January because of a hamstring injury. He will not participate in the All-Star game on February 19th in Salt Lake City. Pelicans just 3-13 since Williamson suffered that injury. Matt Ishbia introduces a new majority owner of the Phoenix Suns and the WNBA's Mercury today. Ishbia takes over the controlling stake in both franchises from Robert Sarver. Chiefs and Eagles are making their final preparations ahead of Sunday's Super Bowl in Arizona. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes giving another update on his injured ankle today.
Definitely in a better spot. I definitely can move around better than I was moving last week or 2 weeks ago. And so it's just trying to continue to get the treatment and the rehab, and then rely on some adrenaline to let me do a little bit extra when I'm on the field. So it's going to be definitely better, more mobile, be able to move around a little bit better for sure, and then we'll see on game day how close to 100% I can be.
Again, that is Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Coming up Thursday, how would Jalen Hurts winning Super Bowl 57 change the narrative about mobile quarterbacks in the NFL? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
.97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
creeping up towards Super Bowl 57. Just sounds weird to say out loud. Along with West Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you. We're an hour away from Alabama basketball taking over the airwaves. Currently, though, we've got UH women's basketball over on Zone 3. The 7A Area 7 tournament is over, that is on Zone 3. The 7A Area 7 tournament's on Zone 3. UH Church basketball is on Zone 2. And, of course, you'll have Alabama basketball over our airwaves. We are rather busy today and not slowing down anytime soon, as Coach Jerry Glanville going to help preview Super Bowl 57 with us, as he has done throughout the postseason. How are you, Coach?
Fantastic. That sounds like a lot of basketball you got coming.
It's a lot of basketball. Although
I watch the University of Tennessee a lot because they're on TV a bunch, basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the rated number 2, and they were number 2, and Auburn jumped right on them and beat them.
That would have been...
No, that was Oklahoma.
No. They Tennessee lost to... Florida. They lost to Florida.
Yeah, number 2 is not where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly. Alabama lost to Oklahoma.
All right. I got mixed up because I'm not a big basketball.
It's all good.
It's hard for me to watch people running up and down the court fumbling. And they call
that's pretty good. That's really good.
Now, when I was a senior in high school, and we got I got official visit to Ohio State, and you two are old enough to know who Woody Hayes is.
Oh yeah.
And Saturday morning, they got us up early and paired us off, and we're in the Naval Armory, and we're playing basketball. And up around the track, up above the basketball in the Armory, was Woody Hayes watching us run up and down the basketball court. How about that?
You know, Coach Owens always said that he didn't like to sign anybody when he was at the Cowboys that couldn't jump. He says he didn't understand, he couldn't explain why, but players that could jump could play football. And I guess it's because of the kinetic energy and the strength of the legs and the high twitch that you need to play basketball is similar, or jump is similar to explosion in football.
Well, I was watching Purdue basketball, and they got a guy 7'4", 295, and he reminded me of you and me because on the rebounds he didn't jump either. He just got the rebound.
You don't have to if you're already up there. You don't have to jump.
And he has one shot, the hook shot, and nobody even tries to block it. Crazy. Have you seen him play?
I have not seen him play. I'm sure Steve has.
Hey, he's not clumsy. That's what's so weird about today's game is there's a lot of big guys who are not clumsy big guys playing college basketball.
And he's from Canada.
That's right.
And all the Canadians I know are clumsy when they bring the dinner bill. They can't find a wallet or anything.
So,
in fact, in Florida, the waitress, before they start waiting on you, will ask you if you're from Canada, and if you say yes, you're done. Because a Canadian is different than a canoe. A canoe will tip, a Canadian won't.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of insight.
Yeah. So, I've heard these. I had never heard that joke actually.
Really?
That was really good. Yeah. But I have heard about the Canadians. So, Coach, Super Bowl week. First of all, what did you think of the flag football game?
I would take a bullet before I would watch such a thing, because I thought
I didn't watch it either.
I thought if people watched it, that'll be how they'll be playing in 2 years. So I boycotted flag football, although some games I watched today I think are flag football.
Similar rules.
Yeah. It just, I think we're moving towards no contact football permanently.
Well, I don't know if you heard Roger Goodell talk to the media today at the Super Bowl, but he is of the opinion that the officials that are refereeing in today's game, this is as best as it's ever been.
Best as it's ever been.
Yeah.
Did he miss the Cincinnati game?
Well, he says that stuff happens every game.
Yeah, it just happens.
Well, I thought the Cincinnati officiating probably kept the best team from not going to the Super Bowl. And what's unusual in the Super Bowl, what takes away a little bit of the fun, is both number one seeds, NFC, AFC, have gone the distance. And by the way, Steve, we only missed one game during this entire thing.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And that was the Chiefs. That was the Bengals, I believe.
Yeah, fine. The Bengals won, so I'm going with my mind. The officials in the Bengals game, I thought, were inappropriate. They were not good. And if you play the Kansas City Chiefs, and last year we were going to officiate the Super Bowl, and Kansas City is inside the red zone and come with a slot. Now, do we have to write a memo that they're going to run an illegal pick? How long have they been doing this? Oh, ever since the Walrus went over there from the Eagles. This is an illegal play, and nobody calls.
So here's your two obscure stats around the Super Bowl in recent history, Coach. Take this for whatever it's worth. The last 8 teams that have lost the coin toss have gone on to win the Super Bowl, and 15 out of the last 17 Super Bowl winners have worn white uniforms, the away jerseys. Kansas City is wearing the away jerseys, and Patrick Mahomes has never lost a playoff game wearing the whites.
Wow. Now, all that doesn't mean much.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But somebody's got a computer and they have to earn their living. It's sort of like fantasy football. Don't confuse me with somebody that cares.
So
fantasy football has taken the greatest team sport and made it selfish for individuals. What are you doing today? I might as well go watch a tennis match. So all that doesn't mean much. Here's what means something, and I'm amazed at lost wages. Lost wages. We have a skilled team that plays a little bit of yard ball, frisbee ball, trick plays, athletes everywhere, going against the best offensive and defensive line. Nobody knows their names because they're not in fantasy football. Danica Sue is not on a fantasy football team, but he changes games. And so, how about Las Vegas? The people that can win the game that nobody knows their name is a 1 to 1.5 point favorite over the talented, skilled trick plays, 15, what do they call that menu? They got a menu of 15 plays, a script.
Yeah.
And they're going against a team that just hits hard. And then they hit a little harder, and then they hit a little harder. And to honor the guy sitting next to you, they can block up front on offense.
No doubt
they get after it. They're by far the best. I think have been the best offensive line all year. And their tight ends are really good. You know, one guy that was just killing it before in the season is 88. It's a tight end. for Philadelphia. He's just now getting 100%. He got hurt midway through the season, and that was really Jalen Hurts' favorite target until then. They have the Heisman Trophy winner from 2 years ago, and A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith, of course, and A.J. Brown, who is was Jalen's good friend when they were being recruited. They used to stay with each other. And in fact, Jalen is one that kind of pushed him, to come to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So I just think they have all the weapons. They have a really good running back. They're going to, Kansas City is, they have one of the best defensive ends and pass rushers in the game. But as you know, Coach, if you start hitting them in the mouth on the run, they take that first step away.
Oh, yes. They did that to the San Francisco 49er end.
Absolutely, Bosa.
But Bosa was limited to playing a backside guard trap, as you saw on pass downs. Pretty interesting. Now, I'm very highly disappointed because you were with us at Houston, and here you are. We're coast to coast. We have 48 states where we're number one, and you're talking about a tight end, and you forgot when we were in Houston, we ran 4 wide receivers, Steve, all the time. And when they came in the press conference and they would say to me, Coach, what about the tight end? And I said, as long as you're watching our team, that is a physical condition. That is not a position.
We had a really good tight end, though.
But the 49ers stole it. Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 49ers came in, and they convinced him they were going to feature him, and he'd be their star, and he left. They doubled his salary, and he left for doubling his salary, but he could block.
Yes, he could. He was a really, really good player. He had that little ponytail on the back. One day I'm and it was sewn in. It was fake.
Yeah.
Sewn in.
Yes, sewn in.
And I asked him why he would wear dreadlocks, that the last time they were alive was in Kentucky jumping over a fence.
So with that segue, who do you like in the game, Coach?
Well, I hope I don't like either one. That's my problem. I don't like either one, but I'll root for Philadelphia. I like the defensive tackle that used to be at Detroit. He was from Portland High School, and I was at Portland State. So I says, I'll get this guy, and they'll think I'm a great coach. And I want you to, and Steve, this is right up your alley, find out what Sioux awards he won at Nebraska. I want you to get on your computer and say what awards you will fall down. Every award in football, and he came in second for the Heisman. Every award other than that, this guy won as a defensive tackle.
He's an unbelievable player.
I see Outland, Lombardi, Nagurski, Bednarik. He was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, Big 12 Lineman of the Year, unanimous All-American, and the Cornhuskers have retired the jersey number of 93.
Now, that is not a normal person.
No, have you ever seen him? I mean, Coach, he's big by any standards, and he's like a big, huge bound of muscle. He actually worked out. Connor used to work out with him. He lived in Baton Rouge in the offseason and 1 year and worked out. And Connor says it's the biggest human being he's ever seen.
6'4", 313 is what he's listed at.
Yeah, but he's just...
What would you say is the difference between him and your teammate, Doug Smith, who played at Auburn?
The speed and quickness that he plays with. Doug Smith was big, but this guy doesn't look like he has an ounce of fat on him.
Well, the reason I was always amazed by Doug, as somebody was chasing him across our parking lot, he hurtled over the hood of your police car, and I thought that's good athletic ability.
He was something else.
And we were practicing on Saturday doing our walkthrough, and we'd be doing offense, defense, special teams, and his son, who was probably 3 years old, was over there pushing our two-man sled around.
Man, he was the biggest kid I've ever seen. I've talked about that on this show to Steve.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Did he go to LSU, his son?
I'm not sure.
I think he did. He was huge, the son.
He was big at 2. He's the biggest 2-year-old I've ever seen.
Me too. And you know why? His mama, Doug's wife, was a professional female basketball player over in Europe. These were two big people.
Doug Smith was huge. That's all I know.
Yeah. And this guy's bigger. You're telling me this guy's probably...
Man, if you see him,
taller.
He doesn't maybe weigh as much. I bet Sue's over 300 pounds though. He's just
313.
Yeah,
Listed at 313.
He's
30.
Yeah, you should see his arms are. It's crazy how big he is and how fluent he is. I mean, Doug's deal was, run stopper, could rush the passer, not a great pass rusher. This guy can do it all.
And the 49ers are going to muster up and beat him. So they hit the quarterback, Purdy. By the way, he's got to go to elbow surgery. I think we talked about that down Tommy John surgery,
Right.
is what they're talking about. And they bring in this backup who's been in the league for 15 years and played for 14 teams. And he played. I coached against him in the XFL. He was with Seattle, and this is finally his chance. He's on the big platform. He's in there ready to play. And in about 4 plays, Sue hits him, and it took him 3 days to wake up.
Yeah, you don't want to be hit by Dominican Sue. There's no question about that. And if he falls,
when he was at Detroit, when he was at the Lions. And I used to say this, I'd say to myself, this is the best down lineman I've seen play. Better than Alex Karras.
Really?
That's
a bold statement right there.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. It's just not him. It's Fletcher Cox next to him, who is one of those gap busters. He'll line up in front of you. You can get to. He's really quick. He's really big. He knows how to use his hands, and he has the technique too. So what are you going to do? You can't double him. And when you do, the linebackers are going to make the tackle 1 yard in the backfield.
Okay, let's go third down and 5+. Tell all your fans to get out there. Get out there. How many fans you got listening today? You got over
at least
5?
2.
2.
At least 2.
Get out. What? Your mom and that's it.
No, it's you and Steve.
Yeah, my mom and Wes's mom.
They're going to have the 2 defensive tackles in a 3-jet. That's in the guard center guy. You with me?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The ends on the outside are going to be speed to power. You and me are the 2 inside linebackers. We're going to walk up and mug the A-gap. Are you ready?
Gotcha.
So we got the 2 A-gaps. The ball snapped. The center has to take 1 A-gap. That backer will bail out and the other one will come. Where can they get help on these 4 down linemen? They cannot.
They can't. Nobody. I mean, you not unless you go the best receiver in football, who's Kelsey, one of them. It stays in and block, and that's not going to happen. He's a good blocker, by the way, also, I think. But
good for.
Yeah. So you look at this, and to me, they have, and you got to remember the outside guy, number 7, who hurt Purdy. He's one of the leading sack leaders in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a good football team. They're a solid football team. Their linebackers are good, but not great. But the secondary are really good.
I want to say this before we get too carried away. The Cincinnati Bengals are a good football team.
Yes.
They play like you and I want people to play. And I'm not a Bengal fan. I hate the Bengals. But I admire the way they play, and they keep playing. And that quarterback, I don't think you could cluster him. China could send over 5 more weather balloons, and I don't think he'd care.
So, Coach, kind of change the subject a little bit. First of all, you got to pick a team. Who you like?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincy's not playing.
Yeah. Go with Philadelphia.
Okay, Philadelphia. I agree with that pick. So, have you had a chance to watch the quarterbacks in this draft?
Okay, this happened to me. Are you ready? You got nobody will say this on radio. You'll probably be your last show. I always have a quarterback hit out in the draft, as you know, that people aren't high on, that I think will go off and be a star. And I say that nobody knows I got my guy hit out, and you're not going to believe what happens. So my guy this year was the quarterback at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And I say he's going to get drafted, but it's going to be late. Nobody knows about him. He's going to be super. Now, you two are going to fall out of your chair. He just dropped out of the draft and took in the podcast and went to Notre Dame.
Sure did.
Notre Dame. So everybody, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I love Bear Bryant. He used to call him Notre Dame. I love that. They now have my NFL secret quarterback going there. That'll change that club.
When did that happen?
Early January.
So now he's transferring to Notre Dame?
Yeah, he
and
is.
The offensive coordinator left and went to Alabama.
That's right.
How about that?
And then now they're talking about getting Tampa Bay's offensive coordinator. Notre Dame is.
Yes. Byron Leftwich.
The Marshall guy.
Oh,
played on a broken ankle in the
Yeah.
game. They carried him down the field.
That was an awesome
game.
Yeah.
This tells you what you got to do. He's offered the Jacksonville Jaguar head job. He won't take the Jacksonville. This is a year ago, after they win the Super Bowl. He won't take the job with that general manager. He goes, if you get a new general manager, how come he won't take it? So they tell him, go away. And they hire the old Philadelphia Eagle guy. And he hangs around to now he's out of work. He could be the head coach of Jacksonville Jaguars if he just would have walked up to the general manager and say, we got to get a hold of the rope and we got to both pull it the same direction. Let's go.
Now he's out of work. That's
out of work.
And that's college coaching, though. I mean, that's coaching, not period, not college coaching, but coaching period. You don't know. I mean, say you're an assistant somewhere, you win the national championship, your head coach gets a job in the NFL, and now you don't have a job. You just never know. I mean, your team could be doing real good, and you lose your job, and your team could be doing real bad, and you lose your job, and then they could be doing mediocre. And the guy decides to go another direction.
Okay, here's a question for well, let Steve answer this.
By the way, Sam Hartman is the quarterback we were talking about that transferred from Wake Forest to Notre Dame. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Coach.
And Steve,
sir,
write this down. That guy can flat play. That's a big-time quarterback going to Notre Dame. He really is. He really is. He's a guy that I had was going to be my new Purdy. You know how we fell in love with Purdy with 49ers. This was going to be my next Purdy. And I found Purdy over there at Iowa State as a junior.
That's right.
And he was so good as a junior because they had the number 1 tight end in college football. And then the tight end graduated, Purdy went back, and people didn't like him. Well, he didn't have his tight end with him.
Yeah. He does now in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So how do you think Tennessee's former quarterback will do in the NFL?
That'd be Hendon Hooker.
I thought Hooker as a junior was as good as anybody I saw. and nobody knew about him. And I kept telling everybody, this guy is way past normal because he will not throw an interception, by the way. And what I like about him, and I like this about their coach, and I've never spoke to either one of them, they throw the 9 routes, West, like you and I did in Houston. They're going downtown. And the beauty of them, both of those two, if they missed on it, they didn't quit throwing. They come back. If they miss on 2 of them, they're coming back for the 3rd one. And that's why I started liking Tennessee offensive football. I think if he didn't blow his knee, he probably wins the Heisman Trophy. That's just me.
I think they're in the play. They could have been in the playoffs too, but
yes.
But Coach, how important? There's nothing like, to me, nothing shakes a defensive coordinator more than a 9 route. If you keep throwing it, and he might be missing it, but it still gives you fits. And does that end up changing the way you call a game? Does that not play on your mind?
Well, what you do is you're the corner on one side, I'm the corner on the other side. And the corner's got ones. If you come from the sideline, one's the first guy in, right?
Right.
So for everybody listening, the corner's got ones. And what we do is, and this is what he changes, you're not going to throw the 9 route to the field. It's a longer throw. You got to carry the ball in the air a greater distance. So what we're going to do the field, we're going to play pogo. What's pogo? The corner's going to kick his hips over and stay on top. Every route underneath the field, he's not going to see. So you play it different in a boundary than you do over to the field. Now Hooker shows up. He doesn't care where you are or where the ball is. If 9's on the 9, he don't care if he's got to throw it all the way across the field and deep. So I think he blew his knee without physical contact. He was running the speed option. He's run the speed option and faked that he's going to pitch off to the left and went back inside. So will he be around for workouts? So the National Football League's funny. If you go to surgery, that's not too bad if you're going to be there when we start up. I don't know if he's going to be there when we start up. And here's the bad news on Purdy. And I think, Wes, you know this. Tommy Johns means you miss a year.
Yeah.
If he goes to surgery in Georgia, he won't be there next season.
Yeah.
But I do like to watch. I watch every baseball player that Tommy John's surgery in Columbus, Georgia, because their fastball gets faster.
Yeah.
I always thought, Wes, the way you snapped that ball back for punts, I should have sent you there. We could have knocked some time off that long snap.
Oh, my goodness.
This is how Mel Kiper ranked the quarterback class. He went Bryce Young 1, C.J. Stroud 2, Tyler Van Dyke from Miami 3rd, Anthony Richardson 4th, Will Levis 5th from Kentucky, Cameron Ward from Washington State, Cameron Rising, that's from Utah, as well as Jaron Hall from BYU are among the quarterbacks on Mel Kiper's big board.
And see, the fella at Kentucky, I think he's 5th, can't play with Hooker. Hooker's a whole lot better quarterback than the Kentucky quarterback. But you said that was Mel Kiper.
Yes, sir.
I can remember the general manager. I think it was at the Indianapolis Colts.
That's right, yeah.
Who in the heck is Mel Kiper?
Yeah.
And who cares? That one?
So 4 hours ago, I saw this, and I was trying to pull it up for you, Coach. Brock Purdy won't have Tommy John surgery. Will be ready for training camp.
Really?
Well, thank you for that information. That's why Steve keeps you around, because nobody else can figure out what the hell you can contribute. But that was good stuff right there.
Coach.
Well, where are you going to be watching the Super Bowl on Sunday, Coach?
Well, I haven't figured that out yet, and I may boycott it because of the officiating in the Bengals game. I'll get over that. I'll boycott. I cannot watch the Super Bowl pregame, unfortunately, and I'm not proud of this. I've been part of that 8 hours of trash. One year at the Super Bowl, I was working with Fox, and my job was to introduce the band in the pregame because they used to live behind our backyards were almost connected, and I introduced the Crows. You remember the Crows?
Yeah.
Well, Jerry Glanville in the Super Bowl, I think it was in Tampa. I did so many Super Bowls there. Jerry, your job in the pregame, you got to get her at 7 in the morning. And around 11, you'll introduce the Crows. I said, oh, my gosh. I'd rather take a bullet and go through that.
Well,
that was my job. So do not watch the pregame. Now, I did a Super Bowl one time, most fun I had, with Jim Nance and me. We were up in the Tampa Bay Ship in the end zone. And that's where we did the halftime pregame and all that, and that postgame. And Jim Nance, by the way, was the nicest guy you ever met in television.
He's still rolling.
I didn't say radio. I didn't say radio, so you two are still in there running for that. You're tied for about 56, but you're in there.
It's always good to be on the list. And
yeah.
Coach, we always appreciate the time you give us, sir.
I'm glad. I was just invited to go to Lafayette, Louisiana. Is your son down there, Wes?
My the strength coach one is, yes. I'd love for you to meet him. He's the one that played fullback at LSU.
Well, they want me to come down there and do their clinic.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, you'll get full of him now.
and does he like football?
Oh, of course he loves football. Yeah.
Well, you say that like you did. I couldn't ever figure out whether you like football or police cars.
I like both, just like you.
Well, I'll meet you down in Lafayette.
I'll be there for sure, 100%.
Hey, who we going with? Everybody.
Philadelphia,
Kansas City.
All right, I'll tell you. I'll be the tiebreaker. Philadelphia.
Thank you, Coach.
Adios.
Coach Jerry Glanville joining us. So how does a potential Pro Football Hall of Famer make up his mind? That is coming up on the other side of our first time out. Your phone calls are certainly welcome. We'll be right back.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
There's something most of us fail to think about until something goes wrong, and that's our home's heating system. Hello, friends. My name is Rick Smith.
And I'm Cooper Constant here with Environmental Comfort Systems.
Heating and air conditioning failures can be one of the most inconvenient and worrisome events in any homeowner's life.
That's why we created our Comfort Care Club. Our members receive 2 scheduled maintenance visits per year, working around your schedule and not ours.
Regularly scheduled maintenance on your home's heating system helps us find small issues before they become bigger and more expensive issues.
Even if you didn't purchase your system from us, our team of well-trained technicians can service and maintain your system, and we're just a quick phone call away. Becoming a Comfort Care Club member is as simple as calling us or visiting our website.
Give us a call today. Environmental Comfort Systems, your independently owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. You can also visit us online at envcomfort.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Early Monday morning to Friday at 5, man, I work, but I don't climb. Boss man can shove that overtime up his can. All I wanna do is put a drink in my hand.
Back here with you on the drive. We've got a lot of basketball on our channels, including coming up in 20 minutes time. The Crimson Tide Sports Network will be taking over our airwaves as Alabama plays host to the Gators from the University of Florida, currently on Zone 2.
Away with the offensive rebounds. Aaliyah Washington comes away with the rebound, and she's going to be held. And she will head to the free throw line.
That is Scott Tyson.
Maddie Krieger picks up her second personal, and Washington will head to the free throw line, and she connects on her first one.
So West Georgia currently leading it at UAH in women's hoops, 62-49, your score there. And we are also at halftime of Game 1 in the 7A Area 7 matchup between Huntsville and Albertville. And that is over on Zone 3, which if I do that right now, all you're going to do is hear Christian Schweers in my conversation that I had with the coach earlier. But later on tonight, it'll be Grissom taking on Sparkman, and that should be a good one as well. Again, that is on Zone 3. So I don't know if you've been following the life and times of Aaron Rodgers here lately, but he has a plan. He definitely has a plan.
I think it's going to be important to take my my isolation retreat just to be able to contemplate all things my future, and then make a decision that I feel like is best for me moving forward and in the highest interest of my happiness, and then move forward.
Highest interest of my happiness. He's going to sit in a dark room for 4 days for enlightenment.
When he came back, he did so much destruction to that team. And, I never thought about this before until I heard another guy talking about how these young quarterbacks on their first contract do so well because they can keep all these players around them. And Tom Brady would always restructure his contracts to keep great players around him. Now is Mahomes going to do the same thing? They lost one of the. How good would that team be with number 10 on it? The real number 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, how do you keep the players around you to stay stay significant in the NFL? The rookie contracts are how much. Who is Philadelphia going to have to give up off that team to sign Jalen Hurts next year? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Jalen will be more of a team player, but we'll see. How much is enough, right? And if you like to win. Anyway, just interesting how Aaron Rodgers took his team down. He says he's by wanting so much money, and I thought right then they should get rid of him and start over. And now they have 2 wasted years.
And a lot of money.
Yeah, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, and everybody I said this much on the air on this show, and people said, "Oh, he's a great player. It's hard to find great quarterbacks." If you come in second, you're coming in last. So what if you make the playoffs?
Okay, Ricky Bobby.
If you're not going up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you see them ever winning a Super Bowl? Maybe I'm wrong with Aaron Rodgers now, because they're paying him so much. The cap gets you with all the people around.
If he goes to the Raiders, maybe.
But who are they going to be able to put around him? With the cap. The much money he's going to want.
He's got Mr. Adams out there.
But for how long?
So a little bit more from our ayahuasca friend.
It's 4 nights of complete darkness. You're not locked in. No, you can leave if you can't do it. You can just walk out the door. But it's a darkness retreat. It's something that's been on my radar for a few years now, and I felt like it'd be awesome to do regardless of where I was leaning after this season.
Is that the name of the next Star Wars film? The Darkness Retreat?
Man, me and him have a different kind of...
Oh, it gets better. How about the bathroom facilities?
It's a room. It's a little house, yeah. There's a 2-way, like a little slot that they'll drop in some food for you, but it's isolation and darkness. No music, no nothing.
Is there a bathroom, or you wearing a diaper?
You can wear adult diapers if you want, but there's actually a bathroom.
Woo! Let's party. It's off season. Let's get it.
That's a deal breaker.
Here's your adult diaper.
Love's already looking up on the number on the line, aren't it?
Here's your adult diaper.
Oh my goodness!
I was going to buy a ticket till he said adult diaper.
That's the deal breaker.
Yeah, 4 days.
That's the deal breaker.
4 days in darkness.
4 days
in darkness, and they put food through a slit, and you're probably paying money for that too. That's the thing about it.
Probably a lot.
4 days in darkness. Isn't that kind of like isolation in prison? And now somebody's paying to do that?
Putting in the hole?
Yeah. I guess the good thing in prison, you just can't walk out. And he says he can just walk out anytime he wants to. That's a plus there. I'd like to cancel my last 2 days. Somebody's asking how much. That's when you know you're making too much money.
How much
You
money
start
is
paying
that?
somebody to put you for 4 days in the dark.
All of a sudden, I'm now in Camp Jordan Rodgers and no longer in Camp Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I just it's when that guy said that, it's like a light bulb. When he said, not about the darkness thing, but I'm talking about that every a light bulb should have gone out and in or out, out or in, off. In your
Are you okay over there?
No, I'm not. I can't get over the 4 days. Somebody's paying to go spend 4 days in the dark. So, anyway, when he said about Brady, that's what made him continue to be a great player, is he kept redoing his deal so they could sign good players around him. And what an advantage is actually the Buffalo Bills GM that was saying this, and what advantage that Philadelphia and Cincinnati had over them, because of they're still their quarterbacks are on the rookie deals, and when the challenge is when after their rookie deals, how do you keep all the right players in place to still be effective in the NFL? And it was a great point.
On the subject of Tom Brady, a retired individual that lives in the building that was pictured behind his retirement speech. She is a member of TikTok, went out, scooped up the sand that Tom Brady retired on.
Basically, I was the first one to go to the spot that Tom Brady retired and pick up the sand and try to sell it. This is me with the bag of said sand. And this is Tom Brady in that exact same spot. I'm putting the sand in that bag on eBay. I'm starting it at $100. Go to eBay, go find the bag of sand that I'm holding up. There'll be pictures attached, and have at it. I will be putting up the real sand from the day of and not this fake sand that they're putting up because the wind blew. It's probably not even the real sand. This is the legit real sand 2 hours after he retired.
Legit real sand.
Gotta have that.
The legit
and I could go to my
real
dark
sand.
room and play with my sand for 4 days straight, where they feed you through a slip, and adult diapers is optional.
I mean, it all ties in.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca and sand.
What a great, this is,
But so there's actually being sold, and I think I saw the other day that the bids are up to $100,000.
What?
Have you guys missed that?
But yeah, I've missed it a lot, apparently.
It's either that or I am being completely bamboozled.
No, this is a real story. I have yet to get a link on where it is. As of yesterday morning, it was up to $687, according to this story. But there was no link for it to eBay, but I guess I need to head over to the eBay and check that out. By the way, a public service announcement. Valentine's Day is less than a week away. Patrick Mahomes does not know this.
I didn't even notice it was coming up, so don't tell her I said that. But I'll make sure I'll have some plans now, and I think I don't know when it is. I know it's February 14th. I just don't know what day of the I don't know what day of the. But I'll make sure to make plans now. I appreciate you reminding me.
Yeah, that's the last thing you're thinking about the Super Bowl. Yeah. You don't even know what day it is.
He doesn't know what day it is.
It's an intense deal. And
he's not wearing a diaper.
And you're practicing, you're going over your stuff, you have meetings after meetings after meetings, and you don't look at a calendar. It's not like you got an appointment at 5, right? It's all football. You're trying to, this game will kids have a great career already. But this game will add or subtract from his legacy.
More on the line. Jalen?
First of all, there's no more. It's the same for everybody. This is your chance to win a Super Bowl. Either you win it or lose it. And losing it, I never lost a Super Bowl, but I lost games where we had chances to win championships, and there's no worse feeling in the world. So it's something. There's no more or less on the line for anybody, from the guy that's the kicker to the guy holding the snaps. Everybody. This is how you'll define your life. Will be defined for the rest of your life by this game.
We do need to take our final time out. And Mark, if you hang with us, we'll get right to you on the other side.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
For 50 years, our mission, do the right thing and make long-term decisions. We value our customers, and we invest in supporting you. We use our own technologies to automate to provide you the best support possible, and we have the strongest guarantees in the industry. I just can't tell you I'm going to provide you great support. I have to prove it to you with my actions.
The Stretch Zone, with 2 locations in the Tennessee Valley, will get you ready for whatever spring activities you have planned, from golf to tennis or just to increase your general activity. The Stretch Zone can get you limbered up to feel your best. Plus, you'll be taught the best stretches that you can do on your own in between visits to one of our 2 locations in Hampton Cove and Huntsville, or on Balch Road in Madison. Visit StretchZone.com for more information. That's StretchZone.com, and be the best of you. Learn more at StretchZone.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
2 maids and a mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. 2 Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at 2maidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. 2 Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
A couple of isolated, widely scattered showers are going to be possible through Wednesday afternoon. A mostly cloudy or an overcast sky. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s, making a solid run at 70 degrees. The best chance for rain is going to move in as we head into Wednesday night and then early into Thursday morning, where we're going to be talking about a fair amount of widespread rain. Could even see a couple of embedded thunderstorms. That activity should be out of here by the time we get to the lunch hour on Thursday. A partly sunny sky through Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Closing time. Open
let you out into the world. Closing time, turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.
Alabama, Florida, getting ready to take over our airwaves. Over on Zone 2, it's UH Charger basketball as they'll take on West Georgia on the men's side. On Zone 3, currently it is Huntsville High taking on Albertville.
43-21 Huntsville.
Sounds like they are fully in command there in the third quarter. That is Austin Coletti as they are up by 18 as the Crimson Panthers look to punch their ticket into the state tournament with a win tonight. Mark, let's squeeze you in before we exit stage left. How are you, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing real well. I tell you, after that last segment, I mean, I literally had to pull off the road. I'm at City Harbor, in case anybody wants to know, Gunnersville. Nice little area they built over here. I was just thinking, and it's not in the dark, no sand. But it's beautiful if you've not seen it.
It is gorgeous there. Yeah.
So Wes needs to kind of make a road trip and head over here. But hey, I was going to talk about Milrose. Everybody thinks he's every station, every sports radio's got him no shot of playing in Alabama.
I like to say this one radio station gives him a good shot.
Oh, yeah, you guys. But I like him at tight end. Let me, just real quick, I know we don't have much time. With this new offensive coordinator coming in, if there is a better quarterback, Saban's going to play the best. But how do you leave an athlete like Milrose on the bench if he's not the best?
Because he won't be there.
Yeah.
He'll be gone.
Is that right?
Yeah. What I think is there will not be a clear starter coming out of the spring, and then by the end of the and that's the way to keep him there. If you declare the other guy a starter, he's gone. And he'll play somewhere. He's a good quarterback. Can you win a national championship with him? If he gets better, yeah. If he played like he did the last year, no. You'll be able to win games with him. You're going to win 9 or 10 games. Can you win a championship? Only if he gets significantly better.
We're going to talk a little refereeing tomorrow. Steve Shaw is going to join us on the program tomorrow. Alabama basketball comes up next. I'll talk to you on Zone 2. Good night, everybody.
This process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Crimson Tide Basketball is on the air.